Lake Zhelanashkol needs environmental protection. It's part of the unified Alakol Lake system and part of the reserve of the same name, which is included in the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Territories.
However, according to residents, the reservoir will soon face an environmental disaster. Crowds of tourists hopelessly clog up the coastal zone, and dirt, which is considered curative by the people, is uncontrollably exported from the coast. A dirt road connects two regions. Almaty is East Kazakhstan. It goes along the lake 15 meters from it. Heavy truck drivers going in both directions stop for a rest on its coast. It is worth noting that there are no tourist facilities from the Almaty region. People come here for a wild vacation. According to local residents, tourists mainly come to the coast from nearby settlements, as well as tourists from the recreation areas of the villages of Akshay and Koktum of the Almaty region. They leave garbage behind them. 80 years ago, the Alakol Nature Reserve, which includes Lake Zhelanashkol, was included in the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Territories, and only we presently continue to ignore the uniqueness of this and other natural reservoir of Kazakhstan.
Associate Professor of the Institute of Biology and Biotechnology of Altai State University, Aliya Gabdulina, obtained unique video footage of the snow leopard in the Kazakh part of Altai.
On the territory of the Archainsky Forestry of the Katon-Karagay National Park, in November 2020, the specially protected natural area staff installed a camera trap, with the help of which they managed to obtain unique video shots of the snow leopard. The camera trap worked from November 20, 2020 to March 25, 2021 and shot more than 200 videos showing Siberian mountain goats, alpine jackdaws, sable, wolverine and Altai snowcocks listed in the Red Book of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Several videos in 2020 and 2021 captured the snow leopard from different angles. Photo traps have been installed in the national park since 2013 and already in 2014. The first photos of snow leopards for the Kazakh Altai were obtained. The results of this work were presented at several scientific and practical conferences, seminars and meetings, including international ones.
Now let's move on to the CIS news. A one-time accounting of Amur tigers has begun in the Far East.
Hunters, employees of specially protected areas and hunting supervision in the Far East on Saturday began a one-time registration of Amur tiger in Russia. Experts collect and analyze the paw prints of big cats, their fur and pictures of unique stripes on the skin to find out how one of the rarest species on the planet feels right now. The Amur tiger is one of the rarest predators listed in the International Red Book. According to experts, for the fall of 2021, the total number of these predators in the Russia Federation exceeds 600 individuals. In Russia, in the wild, the species lives only in the Far East. According to the results of the 2014-2015 accounting, 540 tigers lived in Russia. According to the results of accounting for 2004-2005, 423, 502 individuals. The final figures will be presented in September 2022 at the International Tigers Conservation Forum in Vladivostok.
Good news from the capital of Russia. Record low concentrations of air pollution have been recorded in Moscow.
In the capital, due to windy weather and heavy snowfalls, record low concentrations of suspended solids PM10 and PM2.5 were recorded in the air. Deputy Mayor of Moscow, Pyotr Birukov, told reporters on Tuesday. According to the data of automatic air pollution control stations, in January of this year, the average monthly concentrations of PM10 and PM2.5 carbon monoxide are at a record low level over the past 5 years. This is in particular due to intense winds and heavy snowfall. The volume of precipitation exceeded this average monthly norm by 40%. The head of the municipal economy complex recalled that work is currently underway to create a unified environmental monitoring system for Moscow and the Moscow region. As part of this project, 15 automatic monitoring stations were installed and put into operation in the near Moscow region last year.
Fires have once again struck Australia. To date, more than 60,000 hectares of forest have already been destroyed. You can find out about the losses of Australians and the consequences of the fires on the ecology right now.
For the first time, the fire was reported January 10. At that time, it had already covered about 225 hectares of land. Bridgetown residents had to be evacuated because of the elements February 5. The severe fire engulfed the western part of Australia. The authorities are urging local residents to leave their homes and go to the nearest settlements and evacuation centers, which to date have arrived at least 200 people. The disaster destroyed at least 6 homes and led to power outages in thousands of households. More than 1,000 people are now engaged to fight the fire, but the elements only continue to spill over into new areas. The frequency and intensity of weather events in the state were the effects of climate change, according to Darren Clem, head of the Western Australian Department of Emergency Management. Scientists continue to analyze the effect of the fires on the planet's ecology. They claim that smoke clouds from fires in Australia reach the stratosphere, spread across the globe, and cause the strongest greenhouse effect, and consequently global climate change.
Let's move on to the global news. The world's biggest companies have failed to deliver on their promises to fight climate change. Up next, honesty assessments and breaking ambitious promises of leading organizations.
Major international companies have failed to live up to everyone's expectations to tackle climate change. The monitoring of 25 organizations, including Google, Amazon, IKEA, Apple, and Nestlé, reveals many distortions and inaccuracies. As a result, none of the companies received a high integrity rating, which implies annual disclosure of data on emissions and disclosure of information in an understandable form. Earlier in their statements, Google promised to completely eliminate carbon dioxide emissions by 2030, and IKEA were ready to become climate positive. However, there is a significant gap between the company's statement and reality, the details of which are described in the report published by the New Climate Institute. Many firms haven't included emissions in their climate strategy that are indirectly related to their operations. For example, 70% of Apple's climate footprint is created by electricity consumption by consumers using phones, laptops, and other products. In addition, the firm's analyzed accounts for 5% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions alone. Thomas Day, the report author, said, only 3 of the 25 companies represented came close to reducing their carbon emissions by 90%. There are Maersk, Vodafone, and Deutsche Telekom.